All right, everybody, welcome to the Smokehouse Podcast number 3. My special guest tonight up here in the corner is Rob Walker from Team Fox. And then down below, I got Nick Skaar and his little cat from Fight Club. Both of these gentlemen are very good friends of mine. I've known these guys for a long time. Played for both of them, actually. And there's actually a little bit of connection between the teams that we played for and a rise to Team Smoke. And that's where going a little outside the box of Team Smoke members tonight, but this is going to be a little interesting story. Between the three of us, we got a lot of interesting stories. And I just wanted everybody to see how some of the guys, not just me, but there's a couple other guys that actually played with Nick on Nick's team. The team was called MVP out of Wisconsin, Norwegian Voodoo Posse. We had some good times together, along with also Rob up there with Team Fox. If anybody doesn't know Team Fox, it is Swarms, the pro team, the old pro team Swarm. It was their amateur team. And I played for Rob first, actually. And we can get into that here in a little bit. But it's going to be a really good night. A lot of good stories. We'll talk about a lot about Fight Club also and Team Fox, some stuff coming up. So since I started out with you, Rob, I'm going to start with you first. It's a little bit about me, but, I like to talk a little bit about everybody too. But what I can remember was you had a member on your team. His name was Stripper. And
I got to drop my head on that one.
Yeah. So I was working at my store in Springfield, Illinois, called Gotcha Paintball. It was a store and an indoor facility we had playing paintball. And somehow Stripper called the store. And we got to talk, and he invited me to Team Fox to a practice to try out. And so I came up there and tried out. And if you want, you can take it from there if you want to.
Well, it wasn't much of a tryout. I kind of needed a lot of players.
Well, first, start with the history between Swarm and Team Fox and the store and everything like that.
All right, Swarm obviously existed. They had won 19, I believe it was 89 or 9 Masters over the Automat, which brought them fame. I started playing at Fox Paintball, which Swarm owned, so they could practice, in 1991, in the spring of 91. Got hooked, go through 91 into 92. I was the 24-year-old, 16-year-old body and mind begging them to play with them. Put me off all season. That summer, they decided to let me practice with them once and use me as bunker bait just to get me out, just to make sure I never came back. Well, that didn't work out. I kind of proved my point. But I still wasn't let on the team. So I bugged Tim Madden, the owner of Fox Paintball, along with a couple other people at the time, to let me start an amateur team. And it took all of 92 to do that in 93. And 93 is when I started Team Fox. And it started off as a 3-man with help from Tim and Dennis Ashley. They pointed out some players to me. It became 5-man in a month. It became a 10. That's when Stripper was on the team. He called you. And you brought a bunch of people from Springfield, Bob Briney and
and the two twins. I forgot their name. Yeah, the twins. Yeah, even my
Randy.
Huh? No. Oh yeah.
Randy. Trump got Morris Hatman back and tilted.
Yeah, I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I'm old.
That was Randy.
Oh, Randy. Yeah. Randy. I remember now. Yeah. And then my ex-wife actually played in a tournament. We'll talk about that later, Nick.
She did.
Yeah.
So he took off when you got on the team and brought more players in, and it just went from there. We were the team Swarms, just retired. We could move up, which was very nice. Yeah. And we just kind of took off from there. So in '94, we were in '94 with a lot. You had, I don't know, you got connections, and somehow you pull it off, and you just do it. That's just you.
And if anybody doesn't know,
Benefit from that.
the name Tim Glavin. If everybody will watch the old AGD videos, Tim Sandman. He was the one on the old Automag videos shooting, what was it, 17 balls a second with a stock Automag or something like that. So
he shot, I believe he shot 11 on the video.
Oh, was it? Okay, sorry.
I think it was 11 or 12 on the video.
But 11 balls a second in 19 what? I don't know what it was.
1989, 90.
Yeah, that was fast back then. So
on a stock Automatic, think about that.
Yeah.
Heavy bull.
Now, Nick, did you start out with an Automag?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Automags.
Yeah, I remember. So, and this was my connection when I played with Team Fox and Swarm. I was Automag, and then when I got to Nick, got transferred over to the Cocker and pretty much shot Cocker the rest of my pretty much career until the later on the smoke days. But
once you went to one, you really didn't go back.
Yeah.
I've never gone to one.
So the story how Rob and I met Nick was we went to the Chicago Open 5-man, right, Rob? We played I can't remember what year it was.
It was 5.
Yeah. That's how long ago that was. So
yeah,
we stayed at the same hotel as Nick. Nick was playing with MVP, all the guys from MVP, and somehow we go walk the fields, and we came home that night and stayed in the hotel, and somehow we met you guys because you're staying right next to us or something. I don't remember.
That's because they were having a party and we wanted in.
I think that, they were partying in their room, right? And we were just, looked in there, and all of a sudden we were hanging out at the pool the next day. I don't know what it was.
It's not the story at all.
What's the story then? Tell me.
All right, so we all stayed at that Holiday Inn Lansing.
Yeah.
Everybody stayed there.
Yeah.
It had the pool. It had the log, the bar, which was just a huge mistake. And Stu and I were in the bar, of course, just getting shit blasted. We're going back to the room. You were sitting in a chair outside the room because fucking, what's his name?
Stripper. That's right.
Yes.
In the room was some chick.
Yeah.
And so you sit outside.
Yeah.
So we felt afraid. Well, we got beer in our room. Come with us. And you're like, okay.
Okay.
And then you came down to our room, and I'm sure we got you just polluted drunk.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just went from there. And then the next day we met Ross and all the other guys.
Yeah, that whole weekend, I don't think I got, between the 3 days we were there, maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I mean, it was just like.
That's about it.
Yeah. So that's how we met. We got to be. I remember hanging out with the pool and drinking, and and then I think we came home that night from playing, and then we were out drinking, and you decided to go out with somebody, and that's when the Subaru, the infamous Subaru.
Was that the same year?
Yeah, that was the first year I met you.
That was I should have had that picture ready. I have the picture. But yeah, that was again Stu and I. We decided to go to what was the name of it? Deja Vu, maybe. The Bar.
Oh, I know. I don't know what it was. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Deja Vu. It was the name of it. And it was right down the road from the hotel, and they were open till like 4 a.m. So Stu and I went down there after everybody else passed out. We were coming back to the room, and I happened to notice this big wide open field, and I'm like, wow, we got a 4-wheel drive Subaru. What could go wrong? And so we ride across the field, and we're laughing, and it's fun. On the other side, there's all these storage units in a big ditch. And we come up like, oh shit, we got a big ass ditch, and box due, and we turn, and we're trying to find a way. The hotel was right there, but there was a big steep ditch. Well, then a cop came, so we got out of the Subaru. We hid behind a bush. Just drunk. Two dummies hide behind a bush. Cop drives right by. I'm sure he looked right at us and was like, I don't even fucking care. And he just kept going. We get back to the car, and Stu's like, there's a driveway right up here. And I turn left, and it just goes straight into the ditch. You can see down the street through the moonroof. It was just
Yeah.
tires hit the ground. Yeah, so then we said, fuck it. We stepped over to the room. Roger Beekler, our captain, wanted to fucking kill us. He wanted to kill us. We had afternoon session the next day.
Yeah.
All the 10-man teams that had morning session pulled out, and there was the
Oh yeah, that's a Rob and I pulled out to go because we had morning session. We pulled out. We're like, what the hell happened last night?
big old team
We couldn't
MVP
hear.
window, J&J Performance barrels, like Air America. You can help us out. They're all like, you dicks, take them stickers off your car. $160 to get it towed out.
All right, so since we're with you, Nick, tell us the history of MVP. How did it get started?
MVP was, well, there was a few of us that we kind of started messing around playing paintball, and we definitely wanted to do more and start playing tournaments and stuff. And basically, we kind of started hanging out at Apocalypse. And, you know, there was a handful of us, and we could only ever really get about 4 of us, but we finally went to a 3-man, and we won that. And so we got all stoked, and we just kind of kept playing, and most of us were refs at Apocalypse too. I mean, this was back in, 91, 92. And yeah, it just slowly began taking steam. And we were so lucky with Apocalypse because, I mean, we pretty much in the summer, we damn near lived there. Both you guys have been there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just a
great
field.
Fields.
That was.
Oh, yeah, great fields.
That was home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a paintball flop house is what it was.
So, drunken nights spent there. I know that.
Yeah, and all it took was just showing up there once, and it was like, fuck, man, yeah, I want to play tournament paintball. This shit's awesome.
Yeah.
We definitely lived the life, and, we put in a lot of work too, though, man.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people laugh at how we did things back then, but goddamn, we would go, a month without a day off. And if you did get a day off, it was fucking practice or a tournament, I mean, I don't even know what a real vacation was back then.
That was our vacations.
Yeah, basically.
Getting all the stuff ready. It was, it was preparation going there for a long time.
How did the name come about?
The name came about from a buddy of mine in Stoughton, hometown I grew up in. It was a long time ago, like, God, it might have been 87-ish, 88 probably. There were like all these kids I guess you call them wiggers, they were all dressed and dumb. And some of my buddies started calling them the Rubber Knife Gang, and it was kind of funny because they were all like these hip-hop kids that just looked ridiculous. And we're calling them the Rubber Knife Gang and all this stuff. Well, so then my buddy's like, well, if they're going to be the Rubber Knife Gang, then we're that's when Steven Seagal, like, one of his movies was the Jamaican Voodoo Posse. Or most of us are Norwegian.
Yeah.
My buddy, Ed Ring, hardcore Norwegian, came up. He's like, well, we're the Norwegian Voodoo Posse. And we fucking laughed and laughed. And a couple years later, we started playing paintball, and we're trying to come up with a name. And I'm like, I got the name. I already got the fucking name.
Hence the legend was born.
Yeah.
You just said MVP. It was way easier to put on a jersey. Back then it was monogramming. You got charged by the fucking letter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember my first jersey. Yeah. So while we were in Chicago, we got this great idea about taking Team Fox 5-man and MVP 5-man, combining them together and go play World Cup 10-man. Not a bad, right? Am I right about
that? Happened? Because I think if I remember right, We had 10 guys going. You had 10 guys going. Somehow we lost. You lost 5. Or was that the second year we did?
Mm,
I don't
no,
know.
I think that was the first year. The first year we just went 5-man, 5-man.
Yeah, I
Because
think
Right,
so.
we did.
yeah, because it
Yeah.
was me and you, Rob. It was the 2 twins.
Yep.
My buddy Scott.
Jason Sickle.
No.
Wasn't he one of them?
No. And it was I think that was my, and then who was the tall? Eric, right? I think it was Eric.
Eric Reeves.
Yeah. And then
Eric
had Dad's brother, Robin? No?
Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Eric Reese.
Yeah.
Killer, Stu, Pete. Yeah. all that.
Yeah. And we actually didn't do too bad. I mean, it was fun. It was a blast.
We
when
were
we-
shy of the semis. We just made it in and got kicked out. It was close. We did all right.
We went with the beer coats, and we were the only team to almost beat Shock. Remember that? It
Yeah.
was the first time we ever used beers for eliminations was
Yeah.
against Aftershock World Cup '96.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, that was funny. And
By the
stuck.
way, you two for that game.
What's
Do what?
that?
Forget you for that game we played. Because you're all getting set up. You're trying to figure out who's going where. You talked with your guys. Tony was talking with us, but also with you. It was kind of, I don't know, it was not a distant snake. I don't know. So we're about 10 seconds out from the start. And I'm like, all right, where am I going? Hear everybody saying where they're going. I'm looking at the, I'm a bad guy. And they're, so he just looks at me and goes, fuck the 50. Yeah, we got this up. And I actually made it there, but on that field, 50. The whole the girl is 2 feet, like 4 feet of railroad ties around it in a U shape. So it was easy to live in that one playing against Shock. Miracle was I actually made it in there. But I remember when you told
Yeah, his audio was it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not hearing them at all now.
Yeah, he left. He'll be back. But
I didn't leave, I got kicked off.
No. Your audio's terrible.
Mine?
Yeah, your end's terrible. So the way I recall it, we had Shock down. I mean, we had him down bad, right? I mean,
Yeah, we did. Yeah, right off the break.
yeah. And it was a thick ass wood ball field. Like,
Rennick was already in the dead box, and he was fucking pissed.
oh, he
off.
was. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I mean, it came down. Didn't Danny Love win the game for him?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was a funny game. But yeah, we played 5-man too that year.
Yeah.
That's right. Wasn't that the first year with Hyperball?
It was. Remember that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had the fastest time on that.
Yeah. And then that was in the what year was that? The one that was in kind of like in the woods and they had wood chips all around, or was that the original one they put outside the wood field?
Where
It
at? World Cup?
It was butted right up to the trade tent. Remember, it was the first time they had all the in the back of JT and in the back of Die, they had like the VIP here where you could sit.
Yeah.
Hyper.
Yeah. We did pretty good though, right? For the 5-man. Yeah.
Good fight. I think we took 6. I mean, there was something fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, never lost a game on Hyperball.
Yeah. So
Just a minute something.
So I ended up, some reason, I didn't leave Team Fox, but I was playing for both Team Fox and MVP. So whenever there was a tournament around the Wisconsin area, I came up and played with you guys. And then Team Fox, we played our normal stuff. And I think between the two teams, we got so many trophies, I don't even know. I mean, I know MVP Pro Shop was full of trophies, or Apocalypse. And then Tim's store, Fox Paintball.
Fox Paintball was full of them.
different events. You know, we fucking hit every local thing we could find, you know,
Yeah.
within a few mile radius. And back then there were so many. It was
I
so
know.
nice.
Yeah, I talked about that on one of my previous podcasts. That, you know, back in the day, there used to be a tournament almost every weekend at a different field somewhere, and then we used to just go and just travel and.
Yeah.
Well, starting in '95, I think we just quit practicing and just played. We never
played. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we just went out.
Hey, do we really want to spend a little extra money and try to win guns, or do we want to go to this one, save money, and do it as a practice?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you had that option. That was kind of nice back then.
Yeah, and now you don't even hardly see any local tournaments at all. You know.
No, it's the APPA ruined everything.
Well, I'll put my 2 cents in on that one. Is PPA is supposed to be neutral, but all these teams the last several years or whatever, they've wanted the points. So in order to get the points, for whatever reason they want the points that bad to move up, you have to do it through APPA. And everybody just did that. It's an easy sign up, it's an easy system. Right? So, you know, Nick, you're right. It did kind of cut off the local market.
Well, yeah, and then you just couldn't play any local shit. There was nothing, you know, if you were ranked whatever, then you can't play now. You know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the one thing good about the ICPL now is, you know, APPA don't really. I mean, you have to register through the APPA, but it really doesn't matter. Not in the mechanical. Yeah. So.
We gotta spend the balls. If we want to play, we gotta fucking bend over and take it from the APPA or whatever it's called.
Yeah, paintball players, yeah, whatever it's called.
Same shit, different shovel.
Yeah. So, so the history between the two teams, Team Fox MVP, kind of making our way to Team Smoke, was myself and Pat O'Toole played for Nick, right? And then there's a couple other members.
We all played for Roger.
Yeah. So Pat was on the team when I came along, right?
Oh yeah.
A
lot of history with Pat because he knew John and Roger from Iowa.
Right. And then Pat was your sales rep, right?
Yeah. The many Diablo to begin with. Yeah.
So that's where I met Pat, and then Pat and I kind of did the stepping stone all the way up to Team Smoke together. We went to Team Center Flag with Dennis Ashley, who Rob talked about, and then we went to Smoke, and then I played with Rob, you know, and then I made my way up to Team Smoke, well, Center Flag, and then Team Smoke too. So that's the combination between the three teams. A lot of history. Team Fox is still going, right? It's,
I just started it this year.
Yeah, it comes and goes, but it's still around. Swarm's no longer around, correct?
No, Swarm's done.
Yeah.
The second run of Team Fox.
Yeah. And then Fight Club. Nick, tell us, as you're drinking, tell us all about Fight Club, how it got started, how you got to be involved in it.
Well, basically it was a bunch of us that were either in, you know, the same cocker groups or old school paintball groups or whatever. And then a lot of us were friends because we were trolling most of the shit half the time. And then I'd get kicked out of a group, and then them guys would be telling me what other people were saying and shit. We'd be laughing about it. But anyway, that's kind of how it started. But a bunch of the guys from down south, they wanted to do a UWL event, and they wanted to do it with cockers. And they hit me up right away. They're like, "Hey, man, we're trying to throw this team together. You know, would you be interested?" And I was right away. I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Yes.
Because as back then, that was really the only mechanical paintball you could play, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't all mechanical either. You could use electronic guns in that, right? UWL.
Most of the guys were. I mean, we were the only ones, you know, with a bunch of cockers on the team.
Right.
And it started out as, I think the original name was like McLovin or something, or
Is that why I see that the Facebook page all the time?
Mac loving, yeah, Mac, and then yeah. It's in there, I don't know if they're gonna get along very good with some of these other guys, you know.
Yeah.
Well, then I get another message from some dudes from Spencer, and he's like, "Hey, man, you don't want to hang out with them guys. You want to hang out with us." I'll start talking, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck them guys. We're gonna do this. We're going with Team Fight. We're going with the name Fight Club." And I'm like, "That's perfect. I'm in." You know, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm in. And I talked to my buddy Brian up here about it, and yeah, we went to Tennessee and played, and everybody was like looking at us and coming out watching us play and shit. You know, probably some of the guys from down south knew each other, but most of us had never met. Until, you know, we just knew each other from online or whatever, and everybody clicked. We just got a really good group of guys, and I don't know. And then shortly after, the raffle group thing started going, and you know, we were just kind of planning on doing one event, and you know, whatever. Like, well, hey, Chicago's coming up. We can get a couple guys, and then you know, all of a sudden the ball just started rolling, and it was like, why don't we just have our own event? And hey, why don't we have Danny make us some guns? And it's fucking snowballed. So
yeah. I mean, basically, we could basically thank Fight Club for bringing mechanical, you know, making it popular again.
Not just us, but like Danny loved too, man. Like,
Danny, yeah.
You know, our first team guns, the green retros that we got.
You still got,
And I've never really asked Danny for anything. We've been good friends. And, and we've friends on the scale of, you know, fucking drinking around bonfires and going snowboarding. And granted, we played a lot of paintball together and against each other. But, you know, it's always been, you know, it's not like I've ever bugged him for fucking anything. And I'm still shooting the same gun he made me, you know, things 20 years ago. So, yeah, too much money off of me in those 20 years. But anyway, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, man, you know, I got a bunch of guys that would buy guns. You know, what do you got for bodies? And he could have said, fuck off. I don't want to have anything to do with this. And I think I might have even warned him, too. Like, man, I don't know if you really want to do this. And, yeah, man, we got into it. We got our guns. And I think the first event we debuted them would have been Living Legends. It was one of the big the CPX games.
Yeah.
Me and Jason Antle were the first two guys to field one of them. And we had everybody was just like, holy, you know, it was like, you know, a unicorn. That's a new cocker, you know. Mine had a bunch of old 30 parts on it. I kind of had to just get mine together. But I know Jason's looked really, you know, his is all pimp.
And at that time, Danny wasn't doing anything, right? No shock tech, nothing, right?
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with it. He had an RC car track in his backyard. he wasn't doing shit.
Cool.
But yeah, you know, here we well, then we did the we kept talking about this or that, and like, well, why don't we host an event, you know, or why don't we try to hold an event? And once again, Rennick and Danny, you know, really well, mostly Rennick on the event, but you know, he came through, helped us out big time.
Yeah.
I had a relationship with Rennick and Danny anyway. I mean, you know, we go way back.
Oh yeah.
I think Rennick in the back of his mind was like, you guys are fucking stupid. No one's going to shoot this. And, you know, we ended up with like, I don't know, 13, 14, 10-man teams.
Yeah.
This one, and
I watched it live because we couldn't make it because we just ended up, it was right after Atlanta, right? Wasn't that right after the Atlanta event, or was it before the Atlanta?
I don't know. There wasn't an Atlanta event for our first 10-man event. The first Fight Club 10-man at
Badlands, right. But was that before the Atlanta event or after the Atlanta event?
No, I think the Atlanta event didn't come along till the next year.
Okay, all right. So
yeah,
it was.
And that was the one.
I think it was after Atlanta because Farside won Atlanta, and then they turned back around and they won your event. Or was that the second year of your event?
There wasn't another 10-man mechanical event then.
Okay, so that was after Lane's event. When I saw you down at Lane's event, you guys had
second year.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
after the second event.
Yeah. Okay, that's wrong. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. 'Cause when we did the first event, you know, I'm looking around and it's like, fuck, man, that's Ronnie Simpkins. You know, it's like so many people. I mean, that shit is still there.
Yeah.
I gotta plug in a cord.
Yep.
And, that event, well, the Tennessee event was like seeing all these people.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit, you know, it was almost overwhelming in a way.
Yep.
But they even brought a cord out here in case this happened. But the first Fight Club event, I even told Spencer, I'm like, dude, you got to look around. There wasn't, everybody was smiling. Everybody.
Oh.
And it was just cool seeing guys that, you know, I used to look up to, and now they're seeing their buddies that they haven't seen in years, and everybody's smiling and drinking, and I mean, it was. I don't know. I had to pull Spencer aside at one point in time, and I'm like, dude, you need to look down the sidelines here and look at that. Look at all the fucking smiling faces.
Mm-hmm.
There's not an unhappy person in this tournament, you know?
I agree with you. And I saw the same thing at Lane's event in Atlanta. It was just like, man, it was just like everybody from the 90s just got together and boom, we were back. You know, it was like going back in time and everybody was, you know, shaking hands and hugging, and it was awesome. You know, it was a great feeling. I kept telling Rob, I was like, Rob, you got to go to an event. You got to go to one of these events. And he came down to World Cup. Rob, what was that? 2 years ago, you came down to World Cup. We hung out then, but it still wasn't the same as the old World Cups,
No.
you know. But yeah, I mean, even the ICPL, it's the same thing. You're seeing guys. You see some new blood, but you're still seeing the old teams, the same guys, you know, and it's like so much fun. You know, I go to World Cup now because it's in my backyard, and you know, I basically go, I play my 2 or 3 games for the day, and then I go home. You know, it's just like, it's not like, remember, we used to hang out all day long at World Cup, and how many times did we stroll through the vendor tent? It was just like, oh, did you see this? Did we go back? I mean, it was like all day long, and
you're like, I'm gonna go grab a beer and go through the vendor's tent again.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, it's just not the same. I mean, you know, World Cup, yeah, they got 500 teams and stuff, but it's not the same as it used to be. It's not the same vibe that it is. Like, I like to still go play. Now, last year I had fun because I actually saw Rob there a lot, and I played the Mounds mechanical.
Yeah.
And then I played over at the Tin Man electric gun, but it was fun. I actually had fun last year at World Cup.
Nice.
But yeah, the mechanical thing is just blowing up super big. Now you're starting to see a lot of tournaments. I don't know about the Wisconsin and, you know, in that area right there, but I know like East Coast, there's almost a tournament every weekend coming. Well, there was before all this shit happened. But I've been trying to schedule practice where ICC's held at Urban Assault, and it's just like, well, I can't do it this weekend because there's a 7-man going on, or I can't do it this weekend because there's another 10-man event going on. I mean, it's crazy. It's like almost every weekend there's a mechanical event somewhere, and you haven't seen that in years. I mean, years.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's good to see.
Let's go into that, Rob. Tell us about your tournament you got coming up.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right. So back in January, when I restarted the team, it was kind of a perfect storm, right? Because I restarted Team Fox just for mechanical, not speedball or anything else. And it's the excitement that Nick and you guys brought up.
Sorry.
For once, I'll forgive you. But remember last year, the ICPL, the first event was here in Chicago in what? May, June?
That was like going back in time, too. It was so awesome. Yeah.
And then the next event was Florida in October. And everybody thought this year it would be the same way.
Yeah.
And then the script got flipped on us.
Yep.
And there was a little bit of hoopla on that, but I saw this giant hole now in the Midwest, and nobody does mechanical. And I had talked to Nick several times since, more than several dozens of times since January, and just to see what the feel of it is, right? And they weren't sure what they were doing, if they were going to do an event. And I called a couple other fields around us, and they didn't want to do a mechanical, or they weren't planning on it. And, they're more speedball and open game. I'm like, shoot, we used to be like a Mecca along with Challenge Park and bands. And we all lost that over the years. So it's this blank spot here in the Midwest until, October is ICPL?
Yep.
We had to have something. And, again, talking with Nick and other people, I realized we're the only ones that can really do it. So I worked it out with the owner, and I wanted to set it up for end of April or beginning of May, mid-May. And some of the guys said, nah, too early. Throw it into June. And Tim said the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put mid-June, which is part of the perfect storm because of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
In the last month, so I created the IPO. I brought it back. Now, Tony, you had helped in one or two of these from back in the day.
We did.
We did an IPO to raise funds to go to tournaments.
Yep.
And I think, it was a 5-day event. I think we had what? Because it's tournament heyday then, so we had 30 teams.
Yep. Yep.
And I asked him if I could bring it back, and he said yes. And so we're hosting the Illinois Players Open in June. Non-restricted, non-EPA, just come and play and have fun.
What kind of fields?
Back again. We're rebuilding one woods ball field. We've totally gutted it. And with the X-Men, we're redoing that. And also, we've torn down one of our main.
I was wondering when that was going to happen. Oh, Rob. Rob must be in the deep dark corner of no internet. So
I guess I am, man. That's never happened before.
Yeah, sure.
Fields and this, that. So we're going to have a 10-man hyperball. Fresh ball. Just like ICC. So we'll play the on those. And their help do it. So we'll have 2 fresh new fields, 1 woods ball, 1 hyper ball for the event.
Nice. So no talks of Fight Club 10-man?
No, nothing in the near future.
Yeah.
I mean, we're working on a few things. I mean, with this, with everything being shut down right now, it's a lot of stuff. But we are working with a new field, putting up a new hyperball field this year. But we should be working on it right now.
I know. Yeah.
And we're not, so there's not a whole lot we can say about it yet.
Where at?
But it's north of the Dells. It's a great location, and if we do decide to hold an event there, which I'm sure it's just a matter of time, it's really close to the Dells. It's not a bad drive from the Madison Airport and stuff like that. We got to fly, and there's a lot of cool stuff around there. We have cabins. I'm almost positive. I don't remember how many cabins are there, but it's right adjacent to our property.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically you could stay in a cabin and walk to the field. So it's a really cool setup. And we just got, some things to work out, but they've excavated everything. It's all level. I mean, these guys are definitely putting the money into it. So it's going to be a really nice field when it's done.
Nice.
We can't do nothing right now. So.
I know. I think there's one field around here that kind of is has soft openings and it's not very many people, but that's about it. And I heard there's a place in Indy. A couple of my guys are going to go play this Saturday. Just to put it. Yeah, it's kind of sucks. Nobody knows nothing. I mean, who knows? I mean, I literally think that ICC might be one of the first tournaments back. You know?
That could easily be.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's looking
Yeah.
like it, you know.
yeah,
If that gets canceled, worlds are over.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna get canceled. I really don't. I think it should be good to go. Any new things coming out with Fight Club?
Um,
I see auctions every time, all the time.
yeah, I'm trying to think of what they got going on right now. I don't know, man. Spencer's always got something going on.
I know. If it's not umbrella, didn't he just have umbrellas? I just saw umbrellas, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Umbrellas. Yeah.
I got chucks. I don't have an umbrella. You know, whatever.
Oh man, that's cool.
Right up there, but yeah, he's. God, what have I been hearing about? Yeah, I don't even know if I can talk about some of the shit, but he's got his fingers in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we're lucky enough. We got guys like Jason Anto, and we got Quaz, we got Rodney Martin. We got some like just amazingly talented motherfuckers on this team,
Yeah.
and they're always.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I've been working on Cockers for God knows how long.
Oh yeah.
There's times to sit at the table with them guys, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back in the kitchen and drink beer. 'Cause, I mean, they're on a whole different level. They always, it's like I'm like the junkyard of the team. Like I get like all the projects that like are missing shit. You know.
You know, I was talking in one of my other podcasts about, we were talking about the birth of paintball and stuff, and Push, one of the best paintball videos that ever came out. And remember, we had the Push debut party at Apocalypse Paintball. Yeah, and Danny came over. It's like the first time I think I met Danny. Yeah.
Danny just texted me, dude. That's crazy. We're talking about that right now.
Yeah.
He was signing movies for people.
Yeah. And then we had a little movie presentation with Fight Club. Yeah, that was up. I mean, not Fight Club, but with Push with Danny. Yeah. And
I rented the projector. We put it up on the screen.
Yeah, that was an awesome night, man. Many nights I spent Apocalypse Paintball. That was one of them.
There's a lot of customers that just couldn't. They didn't think that we were serious at first about that one.
Yeah.
And I remember even Benini, when I ordered the movies or the videos from him, I think I ordered like 30 or 40 of them.
Yeah.
He's like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to have Danny up here, man. He'll be signing them and shit. People will dig it. And I remember people showing up and they're like, holy fuck, that's Danny Love.
Yeah.
You know? There weren't that many people, but we all fucking sat right there in the rental area, had that big screen going. Yeah, man, that was pretty cool. We had some good times back then.
Yeah, at not the January ICPL, but in October of last year, the ICPL. I was sitting there on the hyperball field in the stands, just waiting for our game to start. And Danny comes walking by, and he came right up, sat with me, and we talked like it was just like 1995. It was just like. Right. It was awesome. He just came right up and just started talking to me. We just started talking about everything. It was like, hey, I'm like, damn, it was awesome. I mean, the guy, you wouldn't think that he hadn't seen me for years. Boom, all of a sudden he comes up, talks to me 15 minutes before my game starts. It was pretty cool.
It's good to see him playing again, man. I think the time I saw him, he was looking pretty rough.
Yeah. But, and then they won. And then they won the event. That was awesome. Yeah.
And so it's good to see him fired up and back out there on the trigger again.
It is. And then I had that kind of like, I guess, brush with celebrities with you, with Danny and all the shot guys, because that's really when I started knowing the shot guys, because we went out practice at Badlands a lot.
Yeah.
And then when I got to center flag, which is Rob's kind of way in the center flag, team center flag, Dennis Ashley was part owner in the Fox Paintball. And then he went on his own and started center flag.
Yep.
We did the Spider electronic frame, the Cocker electronic frame.
The Hyper frame.
Oh yeah, the Automag frame, the 420 rigs for the tanks. Yeah. So, and that's when I really started knowing everybody in the industry, because I worked, I think, every event.
I don't think you went home. I think you slept in the warehouse.
Yeah, that's why I got divorced. Because I was at every event, every weekend. If it wasn't that, I was running Team Center Flag, having practice at Badlands. We tried to get Nick on Center Flag, and he almost, because we got Roger came. Who else from MVP came up and played? It was me, Pat,
Roger and John.
Yeah. So and then just working every event, I got to know Bobby Long really well. I got to know Zach Long really well. Bud Orr, because we worked with him closely on the Cocker frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just got to know everybody. But Rob, we were talking the other night about Ultimate Madness.
Oh God!
And we were talking about the team we put together. I couldn't remember our third person. Who played? It was me, you, and who else? Do you remember?
The Jewish guy. Wasn't it that Donahue kid?
No.
Josh Donahue.
No, it wasn't him.
No, it wasn't Josh Donahue.
Josh played on Center Flag with me.
And we weren't playing with Alvaro Mosquito at that yet on that.
I can't remember.
He was playing with Airgun Design.
I don't remember who it was, but we ended up taking third?
Yeah.
Put together team. We ended up beating Naughty Dogs. We beat somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think we beat. Man, correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Farside?
Wasn't it Strange?
Who?
Strange?
I remember Naughty Dogs. I thought it was Farside, but could be wrong. Could be Strange. But yeah, we ended up hey, let's go play this. I got to work the booth. Okay. So I shut down the booth, go play a game, come back, open the booth back up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I remember telling you on that Naughty Dogs game, do not sign that paper.
Yeah.
Remember you had, and I'm like, I'm like, don't sign the paper. There's something wrong here. Because the refs made some kind of call. I don't remember what it was.
And then
because you were the last one in.
I was.
And you won the game, but they called the Naughty Dogs the winner.
Yeah.
On some bogus hit or something. I told you, don't sign the paper, bring the ultimate over. We did, and they called it on your end, so we beat the Naughty Dogs.
I pulled off the only dead man walk ever in the history of Ultimate Madness 3-man.
How possible that is? You got to be an invisible man.
It wasn't really a dead man's. The ref came over and checked me, and I was clean, so I just got out of my bunker and went set. Not in the dead box, but and back then the dead box was like in a corner, and I just sat down on the ground. That's all I did. Just sat down on the ground, and that was it. And they came up and got our flag, and they were walking back, and I shot them all three in the back. Won the game.
That's it. That's exactly what happened.
But yeah, so the history between all us three goes back, like I said, it just leads up to Team Smoke. Playing with Rob so many events, playing with Nick so many events. I've stayed at.
I saw Rob again in. What was that, Rob? That 4-man tournament. We showed up there and played with all Cockers, and that was before this was even a thing. Is Rob still there? I was
like, yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
2016?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Somebody I knew just convinced me to go, so I went.
Yeah.
Well, you guys played.
I played with my mag.
Nick, didn't you guys play Cup a couple years ago? In the 10-man in Electro Division, you guys did pretty good. Yeah,
10-man, and then we played 5-man with Cockers.
Yeah,
and we think that'd be a big deal. And all these people were coming out watching us and stuff, and then kids just telling them to sell their guns and shit. It was hilarious. It was but we ended up being the most penalized 5-man team there because we didn't know you were supposed to yell hit. You're not supposed to talk, right? We didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
We're like yelling hit, Ruff's yelling a yellow flag. It's like, what the fuck was that for? It goes another one. We're dropping 2-3 guys a game on penalties and then still winning games. It was hilarious. I mean, 10 man.
So I want to get we talked about a couple, my last couple podcasts, but I want to ask both you guys, because I know we come from an era of the RT Automag. You're with, been with Danny and his new frame for the Cocker. What do you think about what do you think about the speed of mechanical paintball? Just tell us straight out what you guys think about it. Nick first.
Well, I don't know. I've never been a fast shooter anyway, and I've never,
join the club.
I've never really seen advantage in it unless you're a shitty player.
Yeah. We grew up where, accuracy was way better than being fast, because, back then you didn't fan the trigger. Yeah, it's just
volume didn't matter.
But we always tried to do different stuff with our cockers and make them faster. Lighter
legs too.
Making it reliable. I wasn't really as caring about as making it faster as making it so it didn't fucking break.
Yeah. and Rob, I know you've had a little discrepancy with the automags. Some tournaments allow automags, some won't.
All right. So the story on this one is that was taken care of about 5 years ago. All right. It was true. The RT was officially banned in the rule book.
Right.
When I saw that, I called Tim up, sent him the link. By the next day, he was talking to the hierarchy that be, and within a week, that rule was taken out. There's a lot of explanation. There's a lot of misunderstanding about the RT. Yes, it does stand for reactive trigger, but it's not a response trigger. There's a difference, right? So there's, on the RT, just by the nature of the beast, the way the gun is built, it recharges super fast, unlike the original automags.
Yeah.
The gun was made to pound. It was made to keep up with all the guns that were coming out at the time. And it's air gun's way to catch up to and stay mechanical. So it supercharges real fast, but when it does that, it kicks the trigger out. So it's 3 pounds of trigger pull. I know that sounds horrible right now. And 6 pounds of return, because when it supercharges, it just kicked it right back. So if it's tuned right, it's not tournament illegal, ever. Us old schoolers know this. All the guys that tried to, even back then, turn up the volume of air, crank up the gun, get that bounce, right? That was the speed race back then. It's no different now. Complaining about hair, all this. It's no different than back then, and you got to understand what a lot of the younger crowd is overlooking is they only retain for 30 seconds. They're not shooting for 10 minutes at 13 balls a second.
Yeah. If I can find that person, he's
the other issue
automatically on Team Smoke. No tryouts necessary. He's coming. Yeah.
The battle. Most of the people that are complaining about it aren't even playing these tournaments. So I don't see it as an issue.
Yeah. Well, I can say Team Smoke's been really lucky. We were lucky because we're sponsored by Planet Eclipse, who makes some of the best equipment on the planet, I think. And their mechanical guns are mechanical. They are. They're an electronic gun that they put a mechanical frame on, so now it's mechanical. So we've been lucky to be sponsored by them on that. And their first mechanical gun was a slide frame, just like a Cocker was. So I loved it. You ever shot one, Nick? The GMAC? No. Yeah, I mean it's a Cocker. It's a Cocker frame on a spool valve is basically what it is. But and we've been lucky to. I got in touch with Liquid Paintball and the Bang Valve. You know, we got really lucky with that. And that's when we started the, the team store and the online store, and we started selling them. And then all of a sudden, our other sponsor, we got sponsored by Barrels, came out with another valve for it. So we got lucky for that too. And, I know there's been a lot of people, we're ruining mechanical paintball now, but all we're doing is just, just like, I compare it to when Danny came out with his new frame. Congrats to Danny too. You go 20 years without coming out with nothing, and all of a sudden, boom! Here's this new age frame for the cockpit.
Right?
Yeah, Nick. Right?
Worked on that thing for a long time.
Was he really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's ingenious. Yeah. I mean,
I around for a long.
Yeah. So I know when that came out, everybody's praising it. Oh man, this is great. But then, when something else comes out for a different company, a different gun, now everybody's saying, oh, you're ruining mechanical paintball. I don't know. I got my 2 cents in it. But
how many people in the 90s shooting cockers or mags or, guns at the time were shooting? I mean, there's a guy, Anthony Call. I mean, the guy can rip anything he put in his hand.
Yeah.
Right?
And he used to be an when we first came back to play, and he freaking wanted a RT Automag. He said he loved his RT Automag.
Dude, now that's one guy I would complain having that marker.
Yeah.
But there are people that are super fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, Tony and Nick. I shoot my mag almost as slow as a gun most of the time.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll be the first to say it. I just love playing. It doesn't matter to me how fast I shoot, right? But these speed race, there's always somebody faster.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I used to be fast when I played on your guys' team, but we were also limited to the hoppers and stuff. We were limited to how fast we could shoot back. But yeah, Anthony, he gets pulled every game because they swear to God he has an electronic frame on his.
Yep.
It was funny, Nick, at the last Chicago event last year. Right there, it was on the main Woods ball field, and he was right on the tape. And one of the refs came up, friggin' pulled. He goes, "Player, give me!" And he was like, "Give me your gun." It's illegal. And Anthony, right there in front of the crowd and everything, he goes, "Man," "I just got a big dick and I can shoot fast." he said the ref didn't friggin' blink eye, didn't laugh, didn't do nothing, just friggin' walked him off the field. I'm like, damn, how do you not laugh at that? But yeah, I know it's some things. Everybody's wanting to get their guns faster, and I think we're to the limit though. I don't think we can get much faster than what I know. There's some other companies working on some other stuff, but like you said, I think it's each individual, and a person who can shoot 15 balls a second for more than 5 to 15 seconds in consistent stream. I think that's about as far as you can go with a mechanical gun. I don't think it's not like a ramping gun. You just sit there for 10 minutes and keep shooting. Yeah. So. And
it's not even a speed thing. Really, what's happening here is a equipment issue, and it's not even an issue. It's new. The hair trigger's been around since 2004?
Oh, the hair trigger first came out with the Automag. Yeah.
Yeah. 2004.
Yeah.
You can find the videos. It's not too hard.
Yeah, they got ripped.
and the bang switch, all these are is upgrades. It's no different than going from a twist lock T-barrel on an Automag to getting an Automag with a cocker thread.
Cocker barrel, yeah.
It's just nature of the beast. It's going to happen, but you're right. It's not going to get any faster. It can't.
You're putting a cocker barrel on your Automag?
Right there.
So we'll go into that, Rob. Tell us about, if everybody doesn't know, Airgun Designs is still around.
Yes,
you can still get parts for the guns, right?
You can still get new guns. So for the most part, AGD is obviously run a lot different now, right? They aren't the big mega gun company they were back in the 90s. It's a one-man show. Tim Glavin runs AGD out of Fox Paintball. He's got a partner with it, Dave Zupan. If you remember him from the old, if you're an AGD guy, you know who Zoop was. But Tim does all the physical labor and building and all that at the store. And pretty much now at this point, there isn't a stock mag you can just buy off the shelf in a box. Everything you buy is kind of customized. The feed neck, how much you want to pay for one? Do you want a Planet Eclipse? Do you want a new Mac? Do you want a Inception Designs? Do you want a Luke's custom rail? Do you want an airgun rail? Do you want somebody else's custom rail? It all depends on what you want, right? So you're not going to call on a magazine to send stock. It's just not going to happen. But you can get a gun that is, you can get an automag that is virtually the same price as a, let's say a CVO. CVO is what, $650?
Sure. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, $600 to $700.
A new automag with Cocker threads for $650 probably, right? So you can still get all the parts. You can still get new valves. They're called X quite a while. They're all aluminum, no more stainless steel except the bolt. All the new mags come with a level 10 included in them, and if nobody knows what that is, it's Tom K's version of an anti-chop.
Yeah.
Mechanical anti-chop.
Who was it you stick their tongue in there and shoot it?
That was Tom K. He did it at the IAO.
Yeah.
You can find that video too. Nobody believed it. But yeah, he stuck his tongue in there, you know, pulled the trigger. You all know if you do that on a regular automag, you lose your finger.
Yeah.
So all the mags now come stock with a level 10 in it. And, you know, the cost varies because the bodies are different. There's so many different body styles now. Everything is top fed, center feed. You don't have the power feed anymore. So it's kept up with the times. Tim has brought it up to par. It's just everybody thought we were gone.
Right.
Even some of the Ironmen, when I posted that AGD, that we were sponsored by AGD this year, they got a hold of me privately. They're like, wait a minute, we thought they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how long they've been underwater a little bit.
Yeah. And if everybody doesn't know, Team Swarm was the first team to ever debut an automag. When everybody else was shooting PGPs and everything, it was at the Masters, correct?
Yes, with constant air.
And we won $10,000 by shooting automags.
Yep.
So.
Unfortunately, I wasn't at that event. That was all you. I think
Well,
I was sick that weekend.
It used to be nice. We won the gun. We go up to Air Gun Design, just walk around and build our gun. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It really was. I have to say I've been kind of blessed in the sponsorship world as my paintball career. You know, first it was Air Gun Design, whatever we wanted, and then you know, with Dennis, we could shoot whatever we wanted, but you know, anything we wanted from Team Center Flag we had.
Right.
And then when I got with Smoke, we got sponsored by the original Matrix, and you know, we picked anything else we wanted, which were awesome guns. And then Bud with the Cocker, you know, anything we wanted from Bud, we had, you know. So I have been blessed. So, Nick, you working on anybody's guns?
You know,
Oh, go ahead.
I got like 5 or 6 of them here.
Good. So, yeah, if anybody doesn't know, Nick is the Cocker guy. Whatever you say, you are the Cocker god. You taught me a lot. You pretty much taught me everything I knew about Cockers. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but now I'm gonna have a bunch of dicks hitting me up asking me to work.
Well, now that you say that, I got a couple guys that need their cockers fixed.
Yeah.
They're just open game players.
Hey, when the first thing I did, man, when we got Team Smoke back together, I searched out and I got a cocker. I got a Black Magic, and that was the first I played in Atlanta with my cocker. And then after that, we signed with Planet. But I still love cockers this day. I still love automags too. But
look, I love cockers too. I love both cockers and mags.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable with a mag than a cocker. And everybody's technical side has more of this and that. But it kind of does too. Especially now with the left hand. So I don't mind it's more complicated. 100%, 80. But I just couldn't shoot a cocker because I wasn't used to that sliding trigger.
Yeah.
I actually like the sliders better than the new ones.
The what?
I like the old school sliders better than the gunfighter frames. I'd rather shoot a slider than the gunfighter.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Even a swing. What about a swing trigger?
Yeah, I ran a Works one on my SFL for many years, and then I just to the slider. When everybody was getting back into the mech stuff, I'm like, I'll put the SFL back the way it was to begin with.
I think I remember watching one of your live videos you put out. You had one cocker with the swing frame on it, the other one with the this regular slide trigger, and you're like, electronic tournament, and then a big game, or then a tournament, I think it was, or something like that. You said 2 different setups.
Yeah, I haven't run. I think I had 2 of the CCM frames, and Kyle's been running one of them on his on his gun since he came back into it. So that there's still one. We have one, at least one hinge frame on there. I think Carlos has one too, but everybody else is pretty much sliders. I know we got a few gunfighters on the team, but a lot of the kids are running, the dirty old sliders.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like them. It
So
takes a little bit of dick on to get a gunfighter set up right.
Does it really?
Yeah. They're you gotta know what you're doing. 'Cause, I mean, you're just messing with some different shit. That's all.
Yeah. So Fight Club still 2 teams now? More than 2 teams?
Yeah. We have the amateur squad, which is it's a few. I would probably say there's 4 or 5 core guys, and then it's other people from the raffle group or whatever that fill in there. I know a couple of the guys are old school buddies, old school Apocalypse guys. From up here, they'll be on that amateur team probably fucking forever. They love every second of it.
So does Fight Club ever have the same roster from event to event?
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Because you guys last year you guys ICC, man, you guys were balling. I watched. Well, of course, I watched the very first game of this tournament because it was against you guys.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, but I watched you guys that whole weekend. You guys had a really good chance of making it into the finals. I mean, you made it into the semifinals.
Yeah, you did.
There, but once again, we have extra. We have different people. We, it's not like we get a lot of practice time.
Yeah, you're like us. We get maybe 1 or 2 practices a year.
What's that?
I said you're like us. We get 1, maybe 2 practices a year. That's it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think you just have such a good crew of guys. Even people that come in and fill in, and this and that. It's. I don't know. It's a crazy bunch of people. It reminds me so much of the old school MVP and everything that we used to do and how well everybody gets along.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm half the team here this weekend, but we ain't even fucking playing.
That doesn't matter. You're getting together. You're having a team meeting.
I don't know what the hell we're gonna do, but
go terrorize your neighbor.
I think
it's gonna end up looking.
Right. I'm sure you guys probably shared the same dream all along. You eventually be there and be pro, but do it with your buddies.
Yeah.
And I've been absolutely blessed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I know. Team on has been just an amazing group of people.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I had you guys on tonight because some of my best memories of paintball has been with Team Fox and MVP. It really has, on and off the field. Because like Nick, hell, I used to just come up for the weekend just to hang out at the old lake house. Remember? Yeah. And and then I would go to it'd just take a Saturday or Sunday off and go down to Fox paintball and just hang out there, hang out at the store, or I drive up on a day off and drive to the store and hang out there.
Even when I was with the family, me and Robin and Turbin, and we had a few with the DJ, and you guys were all with Center Flag.
Yeah.
It's like every time we were at an event, we were either in your hotel room or you guys
I know,
were
right? Yeah.
I know. I played with the family, and I stayed with you guys in that nice fucking hotel that Dennis had everybody set up in. Remember the fire alarm went off?
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave the room. The fireman was knocking on the door, and I'm like, I'd rather burn to death. I'm not moving. I was so and I'm trying to hide under the pillow and the fucking strobe light and things like that was one of the worst pains.
That had to be Dennis's fault.
No, I think it was another paintball team playing some prick.
Wait, I rode down there with Rennick and I rode back with Dennis.
Yeah.
I totally hitchhiked my way to Mardi Gras and back again.
Awesome. I got a handle of Dennis. I mean, I learned a lot with him, working at Center Flag and then treating the team like he did. We didn't pay for nothing. We really didn't. Yeah, it was.
No, he treated you very well.
Yeah. So, learning that side of the industry was really cool. I got to meet, pretty much everybody in the industry. So it was awesome. Yeah. So, well, all right. I think we covered everything. Anything else?
You have to talk about Robin.
Oh, Robin.
Here.
He calls Anthony like once or twice a year. He goes, man, I want to come back. I want to play. But then we never hear from him again. And he was actually going to play Chicago with us last year, but I think he hurt his back. Right?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
But he's had his gun here. I've been messing around with that.
Oh, do you?
And it's DJ's old gun, old shotgun gun that's getting all redone. So.
Yeah. Nice.
But and Ryan, his brother, lives right down the street from my grandma. So,
really? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Robin lives next door to one of my bosses, one of Blosser's brothers.
Oh, jeez. It's funny to see it
tight, huh?
It's funny to see all the guys on the MVP basically. The only one that really had a family was Dad, Roger. Everybody else, I mean, I had my daughter, I think. Did I have my daughter? No, I didn't have my daughter yet. No. I didn't have my daughter.
That time, no.
Yeah, she was born.
Not that early on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what Dad was the only family, So it was pretty. Now everybody's got families, and hell, I got grandkids now, so. Crazy.
I got cats.
Yeah, I know. Nick's still doing the single life, man.
Nick's still got Pussy coming around him on a podcast.
Two of them sitting here.
Dude, I love all your videos with the raccoons and the possums and everything. It's like,
oh yeah.
I keep telling Sabrina.
So be prepared. There'll be some videos then.
Nice. I keep telling Sabrina about all the pet raccoons I've had and how I want a pet raccoon again because they're like the best pets ever.
They're horrible.
They're like 2-year-olds. You got to keep the cabinets locked.
Anybody doesn't know, Nick basically has a wildlife sanctuary always at his house or outside his house, or if it's not turtles, it's freaking possums or raccoons or deer or whatever the hell he's got.
I've been for 6 months.
All right, man. I think we're going to cut it now. You guys, it's awesome to see both you guys.
Yeah,
you too, Tony and Nick.
I see Nick more than I see Rob, but I've been seeing Rob lately, so hopefully see you guys both here in into August, or no, 1st of August.
Yeah,
I hope to see Nick in June.
Right.
Oh
yes.
yeah. I think some of our St. Louis guys are going to come to your event also too, Rob. So
I hope so. I'd love to see
have
him.
some team smoke there.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Couple teams That's for sure. So
Yeah, it'll be good. Hopefully that event goes over good. The mech movement just keeps going and going. Thanks for getting it started, Nick. Thanks for bringing me out of retirement.
I don't think that was too hard.
No, it wasn't hard. No, wasn't hard at all. All I had to do is make a couple calls. It was funny because I called Pat. I'm like, Pat, after the first ICC, I was like, Pat. And I heard about Lane's event. I was like, we got to get the team together. He goes, I'll play, but you get the team together. I'm not going to do any of that. You get the team together, I'll play. I'm like, all right, I'm getting the team together. And then, boom, we were there. So
Cool is one of the best fucking guys.
Dude,
man.
Pat, I mean, I've known you and Pat probably the longest out of anybody,
I met Pat because of you guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, Pat, I said this on the podcast before. I think I've been playing with Pat almost 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been
Well,
close.
and now I get to play with Cliffy. Cliff is Pat's nephew.
Yeah.
And so Cliff, after all these years, he's on Shock and all those different places.
Yeah.
It's like now I get to play with Cliff, and man, he's such a good shit. It runs in the family there. They're good people. So.
Speaking of Ronnie Simpkins wanted to come down to Florida and play with us at Rico's event that didn't get held, but yeah, because him and one of the other guys, Chuck, is a good friends, and so but we were already full. I couldn't take him. I was like, damn it, man. But, yeah, it's funny.
Ronnie is good people, man.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah. It's funny because, I'm really good friends with Manny now. Manny used to play with Shock. You know him really well. He plays with Misfits, and a lot of Shock guys. It's pretty cool just seeing all of them. You're like, hey.
Look, all the old players.
They used to beat us to death at Badlands every weekend.
Yes, and now they're friends, and we're playing with them and against them, and it's like, it's just a giant high school reunion, all these mech events.
I was saying that in my last podcast. It's like, no matter what, you go practice Shock, you never won. Never won. But I learned so much. That field learns, that's basically, where you learn how to play paintball. And
we'd go there and get our asses pounded.
Yeah.
But we just keep going at it.
Yeah. So, all right, man. I do appreciate your time tonight, guys.
Tony,
you bet,
good luck.
Yeah.
All that shit. Hope you guys are surviving this.
Oh yeah. It's a crazy world we're living in right now, but it's all gonna be better here in a couple of months. I know that.
Yeah.
So, Rob, thank you. Nick, thank you.
Tony, you're welcome. We'll see you.
All right.
Right on. Take care.
All right. Have a good night. Smoke another.
Bye, guys.